You better turn up. You better be there when I shake. Watch me rocking if I can't stop. If I should fall, just go ahead. Go and catch me, baby. Ooh, I live it. That's my true love, true to love. Ooh, I love it. Crank it up, yeah, yeah, yeah. Turn it up on a higher level. Turn it up, we got this. You better grab that tambourine. Bring the bass, we might be wicked. We may be forced to cause a scene. Make some trouble, baby. Ooh, I live it. That's my true love, true to love. Ooh, I love it. Crank it up, yeah, yeah, yeah. Turn it up on a higher level. Turn it up, we got this.
Hello, everyone. Can everyone hear me now? Let's try this again. Cannot believe that horrible glitch we had earlier. Wendy, who is the artist of this song? I actually don't know. I picked this song from Epidemic Sound, but I will let you know tomorrow. Or you can just Google the lyrics. Thank you so much to Marilyn King, who has been a member for 26 months. That is 2 years and 2 months. Oh my gosh, Marilyn King, you are an OG. Thank you. Thank you to everybody who joins membership. FYI, you can also join membership through Buy Me a Coffee if you want to join membership through that way instead. Now, if you follow me on Insta, the Duchess of Success official, you would have seen the first glimpse of the royal book that I'm working on. I'll post the that video up on this channel as well. But shout out to everyone who follows me on Instagram because you would have seen it. And I'm also working on a longer trailer for the book, and also we will have like a live party for the book as well when it's finished. A couple of people did ask me about translations. Now, because I'm self-publishing, I have to fund all of this myself. So translations will come a little bit later. Audio will also have to come a little bit later, and it will be on the basis of where the most demand is and which languages have the most demand. So I've already seen a couple of people have asked me about French and also Spanish. So I think that will likely take the priority. If anybody else would like it translated in any other languages, please do let me know, and I will just prioritize based on where the demand is. Thank you so much to everybody who has shown interest so far. All right. Okay. I will get more into the book maybe tomorrow. But there is so much to get into today. Oh my goodness. The last 24 hours, or 48 hours rather, went not how I expected in regards to trooping. And I don't think um, the Royals expected it to go the way it did either. And this picture on the screen right here illustrates the position that I have been in front of my computer screen for the last 48 hours because wow, we're gonna get into it. But before we do get into it, let's start with some good news. For everybody who was marking it yesterday, happy Father's Day to all of the amazing fathers who show up for their children, their partners, and their communities, who did the inner work, who healed to do better for their children. We appreciate you. And what an amazing journey it's been for Harry from young boy to a man to a now father and a husband. And I think just a shining example of it doesn't matter, if things weren't great for you, you can choose to turn them around. And this is something that Harry said in his interview, regarding his relationship with his family, with his father, and being in the royal family. That just because you went through this doesn't mean that I have to go through this either. And I think this is so. I think that's an important message for everyone and anyone, regardless of whether you're a prince or a normal person. But certainly in regards to what we saw at trooping and just the state of um, the body language and between the family, it's truly sad. But we'll get into all of that. But happy Father's Day to everyone who marked it, and happy Father's Day to Harry. Um, right. Next thing I wanted to touch on. Ah, yes, ARO. ARO, it seems, could almost be around the corner. Are we ready to launch? A blank space is now visible above the American Riviera Orchid logo on the website. An e-commerce lock is now in the web address. So that could mean that they are now, whatever is going to be on the site, they are slowly uploading it from the holding server to the main server, and it could go live very, very, very soon. I mean, I definitely think by the summer this will go live, but it seems like the clock is ticking ever closer. And we also now have a preview of a second product. So we had strawberry jam, or it seems like we now have raspberry jam. Meghan sent 50 of the strawberry jams out, but she only sent 2 of the raspberry jams out. So Nacho got 2 of the raspberry jam. A lot of people were wondering if the dog biscuits were also part of the line as well, but I think those were just like doggy treats that maybe Meghan made, because I can't see the logo on that doggy treat jar. So we don't know who got 1 of 2 of the raspberry jam, but we know that there's at least 2 flavors. I'm really hoping like we get a whole line of spreads, like maybe some lemon curd, orange curd, honey. That would be nice as well. But yeah, just gonna have to wait and see. So very exciting. Also, over in Germany, some Invictus news. This was tweeted by the Invictus Games Foundation. Germany continues to honor its veteran community, and we're excited by the founding of Invictus Germany. Invictus Germany is a legacy organization created through the impact of the Invictus Games 2023, of course, that were held in Dusseldorf, Germany, and is the latest organization to be officially licensed by the Invictus Games Foundation. So now we're getting regional Invictus branches as well, which is fantastic, supporting servicemen and women in the individual countries of the Invictus Games and participants. And we know that in Nigeria, they are actually building an Invictus Games center. Right. See what everybody's saying in the comments. Hey, if you're coming in, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe, please. Yeah, that's true, Lightside. Um, who knows? We could get some doggy biscuits. All right. Yes, Lavender. They're creating franchises for Invictus. Also, in Calm and Go and Get Your News, this individual, Clive Myrie, who I believe is he's a UK presenter. I think he presents mostly for BBC and also some other shows on UK TV. And he made a comment some time ago. This is a line that is often put in the tabloid press to attack Harry and Meghan. Meghan can now continue to invade her own privacy. So he made this comment. I think it was after Meghan won her privacy lawsuit, and that was to do with the letter that got leaked, the letter that she wrote to her father that got leaked. Now he is now saying that he is shaken by threats and ARO abuse, saying that he's also received threats from a man convicted of GUN crimes. And unfortunately, with these types of people, they always think that just because they've gotten into high positions with big organizations, that ARism can't touch them, and it isn't a thing that's going to touch them. And there was no need to make that jibe at Meghan to come after her when so many in the tabloid press and commentators and readers, tabloid readers, were also beating that hammer also. And now he's getting a taste of the medicine. Because if they would do it to someone in Meghan's position, who's in the royal family, why wouldn't they do it to you? Oi. Right, we'll get your comments before we get into the main story. Good day from Australia. Hello, Papa. Thank you so much for joining us from Australia. Yellowwood, you said that you started off neutral and now you hate the royals. Well, I mean, I won't say anything about the children other than I feel sorry for them. But based on, I mean, we're going to see the comments, what was written on that now infamous Telegraph tweet and the reaction to that, because you're definitely not the only, you're not the only one that feels like that, my dear. It's people who have gone from like neutral to, oh my god, I can't stand these people. And I think we have reached a big turning point. I've always said that a lot of people were queenists, they were not royalists, and now that the queen is gone, it's like everything has started to fall apart. Just give me one sec, folks. I just have to message someone. Okay, let's get on to the main story. Right. So the day before trooping, we had this picture of Kate in the forest, and immediately people started getting very suspicious because there was a lot of editing. Now, just to clarify, because I did just want to touch on this, the editing that was in this photo was just I think like standard touch-up editing. Granted, there was also a little bit of dodgy Photoshop going on with the leg. I feel to some extent they probably just started to play into that because they knew it would get attention. But Kate did indeed show up for trooping. So that was her in the picture. And she is now, we have it confirmed, alive and well. So with that, I will also ask, what has the last 6 months been then? Fake photos, fake videos, destroying the credibility of the institution, all for what? I think that I'm always very mindful that in this Sussex Squad space, there's the risk of being in an echo chamber. But what I have seen the last 48 hours, this is not Sussex Squad people just making these comments. These are not just anti-monarchists who are making these comments. A great deal of the British public are now asking questions. What has all of this been about, and what has really gone on, because you get the sense that we really have not been told the truth about the last 6 months. Kate has never looked better. This is actually the best that I have seen Kate look in a long time. This is a lady who's meant to be sick, yes? She's never looked better. She looks phenomenal. She really does. And I also asked, well, why did she not then come to the Irish Guards event? And what has been stopping her, even just from um being seen in general? Because people, I think the reason why people are so upset is because the ordinary person might get a cancer diagnosis, might be sick with cancer, but they continue to work. They carry on working. They have to. I don't know what the actual rules are in terms of getting sick leave with cancer, but when I'm reading through the comments online, it seems like a lot of people actually continue to work through a cancer diagnosis and even cancer treatment, and they don't have nannies and butlers and castles and hundreds of millions and the best treatment that you can sorry that money can buy. I think that there's a lot that has gone on behind the scenes between the camps, between Kensington Palace, between Kate, between William and Charles and Camilla, and that's why the last 6 months has all been a mishmash, because there's a lot that just does not make sense. But here we are. She now confirmed an actual. There she is in flesh. There is Kate, the best she's ever looked while going through cancer treatment. And the credibility of this institution is now it's at such a low that I was looking through the comments online, and there are people that actually do not believe that this is her. A lot of people believe that this is a body double. I saw one person writing that they saw mechanical metal coming out of her back. Let me just say on this here podcast, I believe that this is Kate. This is 100% Kate. I do not believe that this is body double. I do not believe that there is any other conspiracy as far as whether or not this woman is alive and here and with us in the flesh and blood. Let me just say that. But it just shows that there is such a lack of trust now. And this was an article that was written by Tom Sykes. Tom Sykes, who, by the way, is very much pro monarchy. It's generally very supportive of the monarchy. But I think even he couldn't deny. He's often a mouthpiece for Prince William. Even he couldn't deny in this article that he wrote on the 13th. This weekend's London parade will brutally expose the royal family's decline. This is Charles's slimmed down monarchy. And this was always going to be a bad idea for a couple of reasons. Number one, if you're going to have a slimmed down monarchy, it has to cost less. This slimmed down monarchy is costing us more. Secondly, part of the allure of monarchy is you have to be seen to be believed, and go. The bottom line Sorry, folks. Let's try that again. Can you hear me now? I cut out. We are definitely having issues with the mic today. Can y'all hear me now? How are we doing? Okay, you can hear me now. Thank you so much. Okay, I think I cut out around the time where I was talking about yes. So if you're gonna have a slim down monarchy, it has to cost less, and um that's not happening. It's still costing us a lot, and now it just looks very sparse. I mean, they went on and on and on and on about this balcony. Well, here is the balcony, looking very, very empty and unmodern. Also, the Not My King folks who are actually gaining ground. I'm actually quite surprised at how this organization is gaining ground. These ones, with the yellow banners. They need some Not My Queen ones. Can somebody please tell them to get some Not My Queen ones? Thank you very much. They were there and they were heard audibly, even on the live feed, booing. What was interesting is that some of the reports, like in the Independent, was saying that Kate was booed. I don't know why they singled out Kate because they all got booed. I guess trying to shift the attention, but there was booing. The organization was there. You can actually see them here on the aerial shot. That's them in the yellow. Now, I want you to take a really, really good look at this. This aerial shot was taken during the fly pass, right? So this was at the height of the show where all of the crowd were meant to come down the mall. And look at how and the reason I point that out is because I don't want someone saying, "Oh, you just selectively picked this picture because that's when people were leaving." No, this was during the fly pass. So this was at the height of the spectacle. And look at how sparse the crowd is. In years gone past, that would have been full. That whole mall would have been full. I think I even have a picture of, let's have a look, from 2020. This is from 2022. The difference. And you know what else you don't see in the 2022 one? The Not My King protesters. Who you can see. I mean, it's very smart of them having the yellow contrasts and all the other colors around everywhere. But 2022, massive crowd, no protesters, or at least not visible. 2024, incredibly sparse crowds. Many of those people, mind you, would have been there anyway, tourists. So probably you could probably take about a quarter of that crowd out. If we're being generous, take about a quarter of that crowd out because they would have been there as tourists anyway, and it was a weekend. So imagine a quarter of that crowd not there, and that's probably why the balcony was looking very sad and in despair because I think they get a sense of how people are really feeling. The thing about all of this is at the end of the day, the country is really going through a lot economically. People are going through a lot and they are very unhappy that they feel like they're being rinsed out. So when you have an institution that they are paying for and that they're propping up and these, ostentatious shows of wealth, it does get people's backs up. And I do think that tradition is important. Ceremony and tradition is important. All cultures have ceremonial traditions which are important. I do believe that these types of ceremonies are important, but who are you centering at the center of their ceremonies? What do they represent? And how much are they costing, and does it justify spending that much when people are struggling? Mind you, the entire institution itself is already independently wealthy. He had a picture of Charles. I think his face just says it all. And Harry has said many, many times that he wants some, um, he wants peace with his family, and I don't think that you'll ever have a situation where they will be a happy family ever. But I think at the very least, I think if Charles was to see some sense, a small bridge could be built. I still get the sense that Harry wants that, and I feel whatever we feel about these people, that's their family. And I feel that if Charles was to see sense, give his son security, um, tell the press to back off, as it seems like behind the scenes, at least the Queen was trying to do. The Queen wanted them, Harry and Meghan and the children, to have security. She encouraged Harry to go ahead with the lawsuit, and I think that Charles, he still has time, and I think I think even the public, if he was to do that, would respect him. But I think he's still too bound to the Jonathan Rothermere, Rupert Murdoch press, more bound to them than he is to his son, who he should be loyal to. And if only he could see um that it's better to do right by his son. But I think there's still time. Whether or not he will, that's up to him. Okay, let's go through your comments and then we'll get on to the next thing. Wendy, you said the morning shows in America never mentioned Not My King protesters and booing. Of course they wouldn't. um, yeah, like said, oh dang. That's I was telling Lightside that I never knew about trooping before Meghan came along, but I knew about the Macy's Day Parade in America. Yeah, I mean even 2022 is still light, right? Used to be even more jam-packed than that. Oh dear. Yeah, like a Lita. There was a before and after Prince Dan. A royal family peaked with her, and then gradually have been spiraling down. Yeah, that was really their peak. They had another peak, um, or jump rather, when William and Kate got married. And they really had a lot. They had a huge chance to bring the monarchy into the modern era. A lot of people, even though we know the truth about how they got together and Kate chasing him and all of that, but a lot of people genuinely believed the fairy tale at the time. A lot of people were very charmed at the fact that William went for someone who was a little bit more normal and not from these aristo circles. A lot of people were very charmed about that. But again, it's like I was saying last time Lightside was on. It's like anything that makes them more relatable, more authentic. It's like they reject it, even if it's in their favor. It's truly self-sabotage. Yes, R.R. Carter, slim down monarchy and a slim down crowd. Oh dear. All right. And the big part about all of this, where it all started to go horribly wrong, was with this article that was posted by the Telegraph. I'm on the internet pretty much every day. I don't actually know the last time there was a day that I wasn't on social media. I need a social media break. But in all my years, I have never seen anything like this. This was an article that was posted by the Telegraph yesterday. In 24 hours, and this is just the last time I checked on this. If I went and checked again, it's probably more. It has received 16 million views, 3,500 quotes, and only 1,300 likes. This is one of the worst ratios I have ever seen. And when you see the numbers skewed like that, and only like just under 200 reposts, people are mad at what was posted. So Alison Pearson posted this article in the Telegraph where she said, when lesser mortals would have stayed at home, Catherine proves the show goes on. Princess of Wales' selfless display was the tonic that Britain needed. To say that people were mad at this article is an understatement. 3,500 quote tweets, and let me tell you, they were all angry. Like the audacity. Audacity. And these, by the way, that I've put on, these are some of the nicer comments. My stepmother was incapable of eating and vomiting up her own bowel matter because of the tumor, the size of a watermelon that was blocking her stomach and intestines. I realize now that she was less because she had no stylist team make her up and wheel her out in a gold carriage. I'll greet all of the lesser mortals as such when they come through our oncology unit, shall I? The exhausted, the nauseous, can't control their bladder and bowels that come week on week for anything that might prolong their lives at the risk of quality of life, yeah, God help you. And it went on and on and on. I'm not going to show some of the pictures because they're just so distressing. There were also people posting pictures of their treatments and their families going through treatment, calling people lesser mortals. And you know, there are some people that are going to say, well, Kate had nothing to do with this article. And that's actually not entirely correct. Because we know that the palace feeds reporters stories, number one. And number two, this tone that Alison Pearson is using, this is a tone that they use all the time. This idea that the royal parades, the weddings, the royal births, it's like this happy pill for the nation to lift the nation's spirit. This is something. This is a line that they use all of the time, and they've used for the longest time. Even going all the way back to when Charles and Diana got married. The United Kingdom was going through a lot economically at the time, and we needed a royal wedding to lift the spirit and the mood. And perhaps a long time ago, maybe it would have. Maybe it would have created a great distraction. Not anymore. The problems are too great now, and they haven't evolved with the times, so they haven't evolved the language that they use. And unfortunately, what was meant to be a grand return has backfired spectacularly, because the average person does not look like Kate when they're going through cancer treatment. I think they're so obsessed with this idea of perfection, they don't know what it means to be authentic and human. And I think for Kate especially, this kind of royal Barbie doll image is one that she's very, very happy to play. I don't think she'd ever want to show herself in any other light. More so, not just because of the image that the institution needs her to have, the image that the image of perfection that she's obsessed with having, but also this continuous one-sided battle that they have going on with Harry and Meghan. So I dare not ever be seen in public with one strand of hair out of place. And when I'm meant to be going through cancer treatment, I'm going to look the most glamorous and amazing that I have ever looked. And it has not come off well for the general public, who are sitting here and going, hang on a minute, I have to wait 2 months after my cancer diagnosis to be seen by anyone. There shouldn't even be a waiting list when you have cancer. I mean, I found out about this when I was, looking into the backlog of cancer patients. Over 8,000 people, 11% waiting more than 104 days for treatment following an urgent GP referral. And that's an urgent referral, an urgent one. Cancer backlog affecting more than 2 million in the UK. More than a third of cancer patients in England face potential deadly delay. There shouldn't be a delay when you have cancer. You also have Conservative Party chief executive that this year took on a senior role at a private cancer care firm and said in its annual report it had benefited from soaring NHS waiting time. So it had benefited. Kevin Macy was appointed CEO of the party in November 2022, months after he donated £25,000 of his own personal wealth to support Rishi Sunak's first and unsuccessful bid to become Tory leader. Okay, I'm gonna go to your comments, and then we'll keep it moving. But just truly, that this article from Alison Pearson, any favor that Kate had gained over the last 6 months just got shot down the drain. How unbelievably tone deaf. And you know, also, this was her response to an actual expert who works in the cancer field. She said, I've spent the past 4 years campaigning for cancer services, Clive, and pointing out the dire consequences of shutting them down during COVID. So you spent 4 years campaigning for cancer services, but you were so tone deaf and called the average person who gets cancer lesser mortals. We're all flesh and blood here. And then everybody's waiting for her to respond to the fact that her article got thrown in internet hell. And her response was to comment on the football. My despairing menfolk say we have a team full of talent and a timid, mediocre manager. That's her response. She doesn't care. She's watching the football. Someone please tell Anne to get rid of that hat. Out here looking like you want to start a fight with Napoleon. All right, let me just get through your comments. Sandra, you said, when my sister had cancer the first time, she worked, but she was weak and lost her hair. Yeah. I mean, granted, not everybody does lose their hair during cancer treatment, but just wow. Never seen Kate look so good. Golfing Mum, you said, I don't think a reconciliation will happen while Camilla is around wearing the pants. Also, William using his tabloid friends to bully, especially Meghan. Yeah. And the thing is, it's so profitable now to bully Meghan that they're going to have a hard time curbing that. Granted, they can still come out and say, stop bullying this woman and, enough with this smear campaign against her. But I don't think they will, because ultimately they gain. I mean, even Nacho, posting the jam. Now all the stories were Nacho is trying to steal the limelight by posting jam. Like, come on. If you can be overshadowed by somebody posting jam, what does that say about you? Some people have been spreading this picture showing that apparently Kate has like a scar on her left eye. I'm gonna look a little bit more into that because I've only seen one picture. Granted, the pictures coming out of trooping were well, a lot of the pictures, especially the ones through the official royal photographers like Chris Jackson, they're slightly photoshopped, or they have like, oh, they're slightly enhanced, right? So I think I need to find a few more pictures showing that before I make a comment on that, because I don't know if that's a scar that she had before or got relatively recently. I don't really want to get into like Kate's illness specifically, because I know a lot of people have been saying stuff about that. But I will just say that there should have been better communication between the palace and the public, because we fund this institution. I do believe that we have the right to know, and that we have the right to know certain things. And you can't say, to Meghan, we pay you pose, and then change the narrative for Kate. Keep the same energy for everyone. And if Kate was sick, by all means, she had the right to recover in private. But I think they should have just been more transparency from the beginning, and it just doesn't explain farm shop Kate that wasn't her. It doesn't explain the Frankenstein photo. It doesn't explain that weird grainy photo of Kate and her mum in the car. It also doesn't explain there was another photo where they were leaving Windsor and it's William and Kate's face sorry, Kate's head facing away from the camera. So what has gone on that they were so adamant that she just was not seen? Thank you so much, Connie Barmer, for the super sticker. Much, much, much appreciated. Yeah, Gotham Mum. She has like a new face. She looks so well rested. Like she spent the last 6 months at the health spa. I definitely do think that she has new teeth. I think she's gotten some new veneers. Because you know she has that signature grin of hers, and it's like it's not as tight as it used to be. Like it's a lot more relaxed. Yeah, they all look so unhappy. I mean, we're just paying for rich folks to be unhappy. The cycle continues. I think that it'll actually be a long, long time before we know the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And I think a lot of that truth will start to come out when the kids are older. I think George is the heir, so they've got him, but Louis and Charlotte are going to be the rebels. Very sad. Yeah, the kids looked nervous the whole time. I don't think it's fair to wheel them out like this, but they need to serve the tabloids, the photographer. I mean, this is all a machine. The tabloids, the photographers, the pictures, all of that. Yeah, Lilo, that journalist, she won't respond. Pure coward. I'm sure even she is just like, what? Because they're so used to writing things like that. And do you know what? This also shows. By the way, these are the real stars of the trooping, Guy and Meghan's jam. It also shows actually how I think a lot of people don't actively or have never really actively paid attention to royal coverage. Because if they did, they would know that they write things like that. Lesser mortals, the happy pill, the tonic for the nation. They write stuff like that all the time. Um Muden, you said Kate has a scar from childhood. It's on the left side. Yeah, that's why I didn't really want to get into that because people were writing all types of things about that scar. So I'm just always very careful to try and collect, as much information as I can before I make any claims about anything. Yeah, Lulu, definitely the teeth. Everyone, please do continue to send your prayers to Dorothy Ross, an amazing member of our community who unfortunately is going through illness at the moment. Please do pray for her. And you said, now I believe that was Kate in the car with her mum coming from the surgeon. I mean, people have been saying all types of theories. And until we know the truth, the theories are fair game. Joby, you said Kate looks happy to me on the balcony because she got what she wanted in the divorce negotiations. I mean, I'd love to be the fly on the wall in that room because they definitely must have offered her something good. Because she actually genuinely looks happy here. Like she won. No, not happy. It's like deeply happy. But like she's happy that she's won something. She's won the War of the Windsors. Um, and I do suspect two things. Something that Henry VIII actually mentioned. Ah, yes. About I think one of the reasons they brought her out to trooping was number one. I think it would have looked weird for her to just show up at Wimbledon, which we know Kate loves Wimbledon. It's her favorite event of the year. She will not miss Wimbledon. I think it would have just looked strange for her to just come back to Wimbledon. And also, I think she had to be there if they wanted the kids there. And the "Where's Kate?" question was just getting too loud. So Henry VIII here saying, I just am shaking my head at this whole thing. Whether they want to believe it or not, the last 6 months have damaged the firm's credibility and, more specifically, has increased the scrutiny of the heir of an unpopular monarch. A mess. I wonder what they had to give her for a balcony appearance versus did someone break through that she um, can't just magically show up to Wimbledon? I think it's both. And Davis Adventurer saying, I'm starting to think Kate is totally fine. And this was merely a ploy to people not talk about the aurism allegations made against her and Charles a few weeks after they revealed their sickness. It also allows her to not work for a while, which she has never fully enjoyed. Exactly. One of the things that she said in the statement of the last photo that was released, the one in the woods, was that there's good days and bad days. So it's like that kind of gives her an opportunity to be half in, half out when she wants to be. So it's a win-win for her. Half in, half out, at least for another year, and won the divorce negotiations, it would seem. Because the body language was completely off. No matter what the so-called body language experts want to say. This picture that you see, it's interesting that they have used that picture in almost all of the mainstream press. And if you actually watch the video, Kate just tilts her head for a split second, but she's not actually making eye contact with William. And then her hat's obviously in the way. But in the car, that speaks volumes. This is what we're paying for. Um, Anywho, that is trooping. And I think it's really the Telegraph article that has sent everything up in the air. By the way, somebody said that Kate's outfit looked like Eliza Doolittle's. Eliza Doolittle, if you've never seen the movie or read the story, it's about a flower girl from the slums who is taught how to speak properly, so she's able to pass as a duchess at an ambassador's garden party. So somebody made the comparison there, and the fact that the outfit looks very similar to the outfit that Audrey Hepburn wears in the movie. Rather interesting. Was her stylist trolling her too? Yellow Wood, you said, I actually think that Charlotte will be the monarch. Sorry, Queen changed the rules, and I see Elizabeth all in her face and spirit. Who knows? For now, I think these children just need to be children, go to school, enjoy their lives, try to be as normal as possible. I think it is very damaging to be in an institution like this, the way it is, or well, at least the way the British royal family is set up. The other royal families, like the Swedish royal family, Danish royal family, you can see that they're a lot more normal. They actually behave like families. They go to normal schools. I even think one of the um, Dutch princesses, she decided that she wasn't going to take her money for some time, and it wasn't. I mean, by these people's standards, it wasn't even a whole lot of money. I think it was the equivalent of maybe like 1 million or something. Um, so the other families, I think, have made an effort to modernize. They've done slim down the right way and just humbled themselves, and they actually behave like a loving family. A lot of them are even friends with each other. I think the royals from Sweden and Norway, I think they even go on holiday with each other. And yet the Windsors, they don't even show up to the birthday parties or the events of the other royals. Very strange. And what's so funny is when I look at these pictures, like this one, for example, and I think is that Lady Louisa with Anne and her Napoleon hat. These are some of the most privileged people on the planet, and honestly, I pity them. I truly pity them because this is no way to live. The literal definition of gold gilded cage. but it's still a cage. Even if it's gold gilded, it's a cage. All right, I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you as always for coming along, folks. Sorry we had a little bit of a glitch earlier. I'm actually there's two more podcasts that I want to do. I'm actually behind on, but I will do them as separate podcasts. Because there's a couple of other things that I haven't been able to touch on yet. Thank you so much to R.R. Carter for the coffee and also Miss Karen Warren for the PayPal. Much appreciated. Thank you. But yeah, I'll do those. I might even do maybe one of them later on today. One of them is a little bit more topical. Um, so yeah, I do have two outstanding that I haven't done. I do apologize. Carmen, didn't they accuse Meghan of upstaging the royals last year because she was driving her car? Wasn't that? Wait, no, she was upstaging them. Oh no, she was being selfish because she was smiling in her car because they announced that Charles had cancer. I don't remember that one about her upstaging them because she was driving her car last year. Yes, Amy, it's like a horror movie version of the Truman Show. Dear oh dear. Oh, not at all, Dorothy Ross. We thank you for being such an amazing member of this community, and I thank you that despite what you're going through, that you're always so generous and kind, and truly praying for you. I hope you recover swiftly, and please do keep us updated, my dear. We appreciate you so much. Yes, Luli, and this is something that people have picked up on. William picking and choosing where he gets to go. So if it's the football, we'll go. If it makes him look like a statesman, sorry, we'll go. But we're trying to avoid food banks and refugee centers because all we can bring is a smile here and there.
I'm sorry we can only come and give words and comfort, but we are thinking about you the whole time and we really care about what's going on. So
sometimes that's more than financial.
Yeah. Well, if we can give you the odd smile here and there, that's important. So you know.
Wendy, Doolittle copying Doolittle. Honestly, I think the costume lady was trolling her. Mind you, the actual outfit is lovely. I mean, if I was going to Ascot, I would wear that. That's probably one of the more modern looking things that I've seen her wear, minus the hat, because I don't like hats. Not a fan. Somebody find who the stylist was. uh oh yes, the Spanish monarchy also. The king, I think, is in exile in Saudi Arabia or something, but I think isn't his son carrying on, and then also his wife. So the monarchy is still there, but I think it's just one of them that went into exile. But a lot of corruption there as well. Amy Andrews, they need to sack the courtiers and start again. You know, at this point, just pack it all in. Pack it all in. Or just concede that you are going to be a slim down monarchy that doesn't cost a whole lot, that we don't have to spend all this money for. Just basically just do what every other royal family on mainland Europe has done. And then I think people won't be as bothered by you. And another thing that the other royals on mainland Europe don't do is they don't weaponize the press for propaganda or to push themselves in front of the public so much. Ferry said, I'm very familiar with the Swedish royal family. For the past 40 plus years, they are a functional and healthy family. That is good to know. Good to know. Lulu, you said it must sting that Meghan escaped. Yes. Because, they went on and on and on about how Harry and Meghan would never survive without the firm, that they would be left out in the cold, that Meghan was missing out. Harry and Meghan were missing out on this. Missing out on this? What are they missing out on? Oh, yes, that was it. Meghan was hiking. I think that, yes, now I remember. And then I discovered that there are weighted socks and that I must also buy them. That must be how she keeps her amazing figure. Right, I'm just getting through your comments and then we'll wrap things up. Thank you as always, everyone. Almost 1,000 of you in the chat. Make sure that you hit that thumbs up button on your way out. I think that's the most I've had for a while. Thank you also to Anne Hole for the coffee. I cherish you too. Very said the Spanish king is the son of the one who now lives in Dubai. Okay. Oh, so it's Dubai he's in. I thought he was in Abu Dhabi. Lulu, you said we're getting closer to Nostradamus' predictions. This year and the next year we'll see big change. Indeed. So I think Nostradamus was, what, a year or two late? It was a year or two late. Still pretty accurate, though. Elaine Parker, the firm can't manage without Harry and Meghan. Well, they certainly would have been more popular if they had just embraced Meghan. Yes, Wendy, the UK monarchy should have all royals do half in and half out, get jobs like Harry and Meghan, but they can't admit they were wrong. I think that's also part of the reason why they didn't want to give Harry and Meghan half in, half out, was because that would then set the standard, right? Even though that's what all the other royals do. Half in and half out. Mind you, they have enough wealth to invest in other projects and businesses that they would never actually have to work. But there is still a level of business smarts and creativity that you need to actually run a successful business. But otherwise, they could just take their wealth and give it to a wealth manager, and the wealth would grow itself. Oh, thank you so much, Lily Brown. Yes, I promise as soon as I finish the book, I will be more regular with the podcast again. It's just writing a book takes a lot of thinking time. It's very mentally heavy. And so if I'm having to prepare for a podcast, looking at social media, it's actually very, very difficult to do that, get ready for the podcast and be writing. Because if you want to, really focus when you're writing, you need a good 4 to 8 hours a day to just sit and do nothing but write, like it's a job. You have to treat that book like it's a job. So I'm trying to balance both, and thank you for being patient with me. But once I'm done, we'll be back to the daily podcast. Oh, Shirley, you've been away for a while. You've had surgery. I hope it was successful, yes? I hope you recovered well. Sonia, who is the royal in the floral blue? I believe that's, is it Louisa? Sophie and Edward's daughter? Lulu, I know, I'm writing 2 books. It takes years, yes? Alrighty, I'm going to leave things there. Thank you as always, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day. If I manage to do the extra podcast, I guess I'll see you later. If not, I will see you tomorrow. Thank you for everyone for your donations. As always, ciao.
You better turn up. You better be there when I shake. Watch me rocking if I can't stop. If I should fall, just go ahead. Go and catch me, baby.